Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV. I set up the stream extremely late and I saw that you were all waiting. I've had a mad couple of hours, but Matisse is going to be joining us in a couple of minutes to be discussing the only one bigger F-up this season in Chelsea. An embarrassing football team, an embarrassing state at the moment, and that's coming from a Liverpool fan after the season we've had. So I thought it was only right to come on here and slander what has been one of the... You know, you're on the way Matisse has just been trolling everyone on the Big Six recently because of Chelsea's poor form. I'm going to grill him on a chat. I'm going to grill Matisse. He thinks that he's all innocent and he's sick. He's getting grilled because that's what would happen to me if I was in his position. So I'm only providing my obligations as a Liverpool fan. I'm also making sure I'm not glary. So he will be joining us in 2 minutes, chat. I did let him know purposely to join the stream for 15 minutes past 3. So for those just disappointed to see a Scouser, don't you worry, he's going to be joining us in a second. To be late is great unless you have to wait, but to wait for something that is late may be great, says Panov Scouts. You're on to the way, we're all little poets in this chat. It's brilliant to say. Lateness is greatness. I understand this is a Matisse line as well, so I thought... Do you know what? I could set the stream for 10 past, but I could just take the mick out. I could just bring you here 5 minutes earlier just because. Why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Nah, I'm messing. The situation was I was meant to go live with Callum Sanderson from Cop TV. I've missed my brother and I haven't done a stream with him for time. So we've been trying to sort something out. Either way, I ended up going to my mum's to sort something out an hour ago. Ended up falling asleep. I woke up and saw the message. I was like, shit, I've just missed the live stream with Callum. Messaged him and I was just like, mate, there, lad, I'm sorry, I'm in my mum's helping her out with something. Fully lied to him. I was a kip and I was completely done with helping my mum out with stuff. And yeah. Oh yeah, and guys, by the way, the only way Matisse can't get here exactly on 15 is if he's late. I've got my cup of tea. Defo, get ready. Prank Matisse for another vid. Chat, what are you saying, dead quick though? What do you want to prank him on? Anything specific, or do you just want to? What are you thinking? Because I'm really intrigued on the Chelsea situation. I don't think there's anything you can prank them on right now, chat. I think Chelsea, like anything I would recommend, whether it be the owners or the managers or anything, I feel like he'd agree. Right there, Matisse is here now. I don't want it to do the echo thing like it done on yesterday's stream. Matisse, brother, I know you can hear me. We're live, fam. I understand that's one of the professional rules of telling a streamer before he jumps on that he's live. Yes, Matisse!
Big up, brother.
My G.
My brother,
G.
you good?
My G. Matisse, I'm even better now. I'm even better that my friend is here. Matisse,
Appreciate
can I tell you something, sir?
Go on.
I massively appreciate the work that you've been putting in on, not only on your channel, which is being world class, guys. Go subscribe to that in the title.
Thank you, man.
I love the staring on the Big Six. Do you know,
I've had to.
I'm a big
Bro,
fan.
this season, I've had to stir that pot like I've never stirred it before because my team has been in the mud, in the trenches, in the doldrums. So the only way I could bring any life and any happiness to myself is to just cause trouble and be a chaotic guy. So yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I've tried my best this season to be as entertaining as possible, and hopefully people have enjoyed it. And I'm proud to be on your channel, bro. It's been coming. Jeez. I'm glad I'm on. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just glad you're back, bro. I'm glad you're back. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to see the regular content. I'm subscribed. I've been subscribed. So it's a pleasure, bro. I'm looking forward to this.
You, my friends, are a legend. Guys, do subscribe to Matisse. And it's good to have you on, lads. I'm trying to get these live streams out there more. So to have a superstar on the show like you always adds to the credibility on my YouTube channel. You know what I mean, Matisse? We were discussing about how to prank you before you went on the show. Yeah,
and then I heard that and I seen the comments as well. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to come in right now just to make that fail right now. So that can't happen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Matisse. We brought on Hussam yesterday, and we wanted to do a Mohamed Salah prank, basically saying that I was in the stance of want Mohamed Salah to leave and that he was finished. And Hussam didn't like it, but I've done a good job. And this was one of the recommendations of how we prank Matisse today in a debate. You know what I mean? But Matisse, let's start off on Chelsea because you're interesting man. And I saw you last season, and it was just constant. I feel like the first part of the season was the best part, even though it was still terrible. And then, Potter came in and had his thing. Then you had the Frank Lampard. Now you've got Pochettino. Yep. It's one of two things that this says to me. Bowley is going to happily spend until he gets it right. Or he just spent loads in his initial part at the club at Chelsea to get on board with the fans because that's what they were used to. So he was using that extra amplified spending approach, and it's just gone south. Yeah. I'm sort of asking loads of questions in one, but can he do that again? And if he can't, what does that mean for Chelsea?
I think he definitely can't, and I think the Ugarte deal kind of collapsing and him ending up going to PSG, whether it's down to wages, us not wanting to actually just pay the release clause outright and trying to do it in installments like PSG did as well. It screams to me that, you know, missing out on Champions League football, spending almost 600 million has put us in a position where we do need to move a little bit more, you know, intelligent, a little bit more, do our due diligence, move in a smarter way. And thank God, to be honest, because you can't spend that kind of money, end up where we ended up, and just go and spend that money again and think you're going to fix it. You do need to actually learn lessons from previous failings. You bring in a Koulibaly, you bring in a Cucurella on 62 million, you bring in, you know, Sterling on 320, 50k wages, you know, Aubameyang. These signings haven't worked out. You sack a couple of managers. There's no mistake to be made in terms of, you know, Thiago Silva speaking out, you know, managers saying that they've got too many players, it's a bloated squad. If you're not listening to those kind of criticisms and that feedback, then you'd be deluded. So we're 100% needing to learn from that, and we're definitely on a tighter rope and a tighter leash this summer. And I think that's why there's no more incomings confirmed at the moment, is because we do need to sell players. And for me, I'm more excited about the sales, bro, than I am about the incomings, because we just got too many players.
Who are you going to sell?
Bro, we need to sell like 10 to 15 players. You look.
How possible is that?
It's very unlikely. It's very difficult, especially when you look at the overall market. There's clubs in Europe like Italy who, you know, the Italian clubs don't have any money. They're only looking for loan deals. They're only looking for, you know, slashed wages, and you have to pay 50, 60, 70% of the wages of a Lukaku, etc. So it's like, Saudi needs to save my club in a way about
it. It's like Saudi, you're looking to improve your league, aren't you? How about this? Bag. And do you know what? The worst thing in football, in fact, you can even correlate this to us who like do freelance work and do content creation. I think in our world, the worst thing you can maybe do, unless it's the right, most perfect thing, is get yourself stuck in a long-term contract with anything or whatever, because you never know what's going to be round the corner. So in football, I always like to use the same thing. All these players, they've signed their long-term deals, and if they haven't signed a long-term deal, it's a big deal. So then why are you going to leave that football club when you're on these wages at this place? You're living in London. Okay, yes, it might not be going well at the football club, but some of these players just won't care about that. They're not going to get a higher payday anywhere else. And on top of this, when it comes to selling them, it's so hard to sell an asset who's at a club that's in disarray, especially when you consider the fact that, you know, a lot of these players, they've dropped value. And who else is going to pay those wages? Who else? I understand these aren't the players you're looking to sell, but then you've got the players who are on 8-year contracts, and then what happens with them? Because if it doesn't work out in the next year or the next two, the biggest fear for me, whether a player or a manager, is to get stuck with a player like Harry Maguire or Phil Jones on a long-term contract. And the same with a player. Look at Harry Kane. Harry Kane signs that long-term deal. Now he's stuck at Spurs. Likely not going to end up with a trophy, my G.
Yeah. No, literally.
It's a tough position. It's a tough position, Matisse. That's why I just, like, do you recognise the urgency, like, with Chelsea at the moment?
Bro, literally, I did a stream yesterday on my channel, and people wanted to bust jokes like Chelsea fans, but I was like, this is actually not a joke. Like, I'm being very serious today. We are in a lot of problems. Like, we need to sell players. I know there might be context. Maldini gets sacked at AC Milan. The Ruben Loftus-Cheek deal breaks down. You could take a look at, you know, Manchester United's ownership situation is not being concluded. Maybe that's why they're haggling on Mason Mount. You know, Real Madrid, Mbappe hands in a transfer request, or not a transfer request. He hands in a letter confirming to PSG that basically they have to sell him this summer or they're going to lose him for free. That deteriorates their interest in Kai Havertz. That's maybe unfortunate. We've outpriced him as well, maybe. But I was saying it yesterday, we can't afford to be unfortunate. We can't afford to be unlucky. We have to get these deals done. We have to sell these players. There's a big meeting with Inter Milan over the next couple of days that could involve Onana and a couple of players going their way. But from what it seems like today, Inter Milan want Koulibaly on a loan deal is what they're looking for. Lukaku last year, they got on a loan deal. They don't have the money to buy him outright. We have to probably make about 50 million in a sale to break even on a player that's contracted till 2026 in Lukaku. So there's so much to do, and there's so many directors in place, but they have to actually get the deals over the line. There's no point working hard if the results don't come with it. So I'm entering a bit of a mini panic because you guys have a deadline of August. Other clubs that are operating on a normal level, that you probably say you want 3-4 players in this window, maybe 3-4 players out.
Yeah.
Same with Arsenal, same with Man United. We need to sell minimum 10 players. We need to get, because the FIFA loan rules have changed as well. And Pochettino's coming in from the beginning with a team that has no system, no cohesion, no chemistry, no understanding, they don't even really have the basics of how to play football. You watched us last season. We were awful. Yeah. So he needs these players in and out really by early July for pre-season. So for me, my deadline is earlier, because if this is still going on in August, then the pre-season is not actually going to plan, and then we're starting next season slowly. So for me personally, bro, there's a lot of mess to clean up, and we need to hurry up, because otherwise next season we're going to pay the price at least up until Christmas, I think.
That's a fucked up situation, you know, Matisse. That's like a heavy... Like, I'm not even trying... Do you know, like that kid in school where someone swears and then they go... Oh. I'm not trying to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. But I'm seeing what's going on with yous right now, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a really, really big issue. It kind of leads into what I want to ask about next. But before we do, we'll read a couple of these comments. The thing with Chelsea's season is that at every hurdle, I always felt that it can't get possibly anywhere. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking the next game, got to be a bounce back. Next game, I saw that you came into realisation quite soon, Matisse, like, yeah, my team's just shit.
Yeah, every watch along I loaded up, bro, I just knew it was going to go left. Do you know what I mean? I was just there, just at that point, just present.
Saudis only offer contracts. They do not pay transfer fees. Where's the rule? Where's the premise on that?
I mean, so far, he's not wrong. Like, no one...
He's factually right.
Yeah, no. So far, this is what I was saying yesterday as well. Like, that's what worries me about Saudi, is that they haven't moved like China, where they've signed Oscar and Ramirez and Hulk and, you know, players that are maybe in their prime for big fees. Yep. They've only gone
big wages.
Yeah, they've just gone for Ronaldo, you know, end of his career. Benzema, opportunity. Kante, opportunity. Wilfred Zaha was an opportunity that they were looking at, reportedly. They haven't gone and put money down, big fees for anyone. So we've got Ziyech, we've got Aubameyang. They won't cost a lot. Lukaku, though, they're not gonna pay a big fee. So yeah, Saudi are moving interesting right now, man.
How do you feel you just got that big block up front, just moving around slowly? How do you feel? Because, Matisse, do you know the thing with Romelu Lukaku? I watched him in that Champions League final. That dickhead. Dickhead. I remember watching him for Everton. That was twice the player than what I seen in that stupid Champions League final the other night. And then you fucks are getting him back. Matisse, what's the odds on Lukaku coming back into your starting 11? Be honest.
Bro,
I think it's likely.
Let
me paint the picture, Matisse. Let me paint the picture. I'm just saying. I know you're going to be sold after this. Don't worry. I know you. I should have been.
I'm not going to be sold, bro.
No, you will.
I'm absolutely.
There's not a doubt, Matisse.
No,
not a doubt. Lukaku up front. That already, I feel like I've got you off to a good start there. No, Sterling on the wing. Wait there. Sterling on the wing. And then how about this? If you can reach down the sides of the couches, bring back a little Timo Werner. Put him on the other side. Matisse, come on. He was going to show me the sick from the chip the other week.
yeah, literally, bro. Exactly. Still there. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'll just get sick again thinking about that.
No, come on, Matisse.
That is probably the worst front line I've ever heard in my life, bro. That you've just put together there. Worst front line I've ever heard in my life. Horrendous.
I tried my best for you, Matisse. Sorry, la. Will you be watching the Saudi League? I doubt it. Here's the thing. Like, if they get superstars, like, and they do, like, a superstar all game, like, if they try and... Because football doesn't have to just be football as we know it. It can have our version, and then it can have their version. And if they want to start off doing this sort of YouTuber influency box... you're onto the way YouTuber boxing then turns into legends fighting each other, and then legends fighting each other gave younger fighters to have a platform to showcase their skills. If Saudi want to look at their league kind of like that, because I was thinking, why don't you just get the old ballers back? Just get them playing 10, 20 minute little short matches against each other. Get Ronaldinho, Dani Alves.
Bring the pictures in as well.
Do what PK's trying to do. And then just absolutely smash it that way. But in terms of the actual football and structure, I don't know what they're trying to do. But it's weirdly exciting. But to be honest, even if we just release a couple of dons, it will be better than holding on to deadwood in hopes of making coin. We need to cut losses and accept the L's on some of these dons. Do you know how complicated it is to get rid of play? Like, either you're going to have to pay all the wages you've promised to give them, or and then you're looking for a buyer. There doesn't look like there's going to be any buyers, and I can't think of, like, who are you going to sell in your squad? Havertz has been the one that I've saw linked for the price. I don't think I've saw anybody else linked away for the price.
I think Mason Mount to Man United.
Mason Mount.
There's a gap.
No, you're right. You're right.
But then Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, Aspilicueta still here. Koulibaly is another one as well that is meant to be rumored to go. There's just so many, bro. Kovacic to Man City's still not over the line. That was meant to be happening as well. I can't begin to even imagine how messy this situation is, bro. Like, the more I talk about it, the more messier it gets. And to be honest, when you get rid of those players, all you do at that point is get yourself back to being a normal team. Like, you don't improve by getting rid of all those players. You just improve in the sense that now a team can be coached. Now a manager can actually walk in and say, this is a normal team now of a normal group of players that I can work with. So we're not actually closing the gap too much on the top teams that we're meant to be competing with. So there's just so much to do.
Don't say that, because if United get that takeover, I was waiting for you to sort us out. I'd be like, do you know what? I don't like Chelsea, but I'd rather them win it than Man United. So at least if they come back and United get a billionaire takeover, we might see Chelsea do bits. But now the more I speak to you, Matisse, you're just giving me less and less hope.
Yeah, until I see outgoings, bro, I can't give you much hope. I can't lie right now.
Everyone gives City crap for their breaches that are in court. How about Chelsea with their abusing of loan players and crazy spending? Here's the one thing I say about Chelsea. Do you know Abramovich? From what I know, bad motherfucker. Now, whether you agree or disagree with his sentiment, here's what I mean. I simply just mean, guess what? FFP weren't a pool when he was spending peas. So therefore, he never went against no premise. And obviously, when he did go against the premise, what happens? Chelsea had the ban, the transfer ban.
We got banned twice, yeah.
Exactly. But in the early days, when FFP still weren't there, because it got brought in after the City owners, didn't it? That's when it changed. But he never went against the premise. Even if you thought it was the premise that was being going against, the premise didn't exist just because it exists now. So now, that's important to mention. And then when you fast forward to the City owners, listen, you can speculate and talk about why the rule then was brought in post-City ownership, but the premise still stood that they went against what was the new set rule. So that's the only reason why I bring up Roman. It's not to defend Roman, because we all know that everything and every football team can have a question to be asked. I don't dispute Liverpool in the 70s, 80s and 90s bending a little rule, and why not? It's business. It happens. It's just the case of, if you accept corruption in football, you then have to compete with said corruption. If you know it's there, then compete with it. It's a simple thing. Shout out to LJ Brown, who says, I need Chelsea to keep all their deadwood. I need you to... You need you, mud of Matisse. He's got a personal agenda against you.
Oh, dear me. Yeah. Funnily enough, there's no reason for anyone to help us in this situation. And that's what I keep trying to kind of voice, is that we can outprice
it's every man for himself out here,
Matisse.
We
can outprice our players as much as we want, but every club that's interested could just turn around and say, okay, we're not going to get them. We're going to go and get someone else that's an alternative that isn't going to cost as much. And then you guys can just hold that with your 50 players. You can just hold that. So we're not standing on a strong footing to be out here pissing around with prices, to be honest.
I get you. Wait, 5+1. What's this about Lukaku 5+1? Do you know this?
So from what I've heard, his contract expires in 2026. I'm not aware of any +1 year to be triggered on an extension, but I would assume that would come from the club side more than Lukaku's side, and I'm definitely sure the club is not triggering an extra year, so I'm not really aware of that one.
This is actually a good point from Dominic. Let's not forget some of these players do have quality in the Matisse. I want to ask you a question. Do you think there's 11 players out of however many you've got right now? Just 11 players that can make this team, let's say, get back to a Europa League position. Let's set it realistic, like you said.
Going through the team we have now.
If you have the whole entire squad and you can choose the 11, do you think you or Pochettino could find an 11 that would be good enough to be consistent to get a Europa League spot?
I think I could. I think there's a couple of positions that are problematic. If you can get Mendy back to the form that he showed when we won the Champions League, then that is not a terrible goalkeeper. I think right now people want a new goalkeeper because they've clocked that both these keepers aren't world class. But if I had to pick between Mendy and Kepa, if I can get peak Mendy, then I'd put him in there and handle that. But I wouldn't be happy with it, to be honest. Got back four, you got James, you've got Chilwell, you've got Badia Chilwell, Colwell, and you got Fofana. So that will do. You got Enzo in midfield. His partner, at the moment, there's no one there to partner him, to be honest. I'm not playing Gallagher, and everybody else is meant to be leaving. So there's an imbalance in midfield that I don't really like. You're looking at young players like Santos and Cassidy, but again, these guys are not sitting midfielders, so there's still an imbalance. And then going forward, you've got Mudryk, Madueke, Sterling in the flanks. You've got Nkuku in the 10. And then up front, I'd love to see what an ACL-free Broja looks like under Poch. I don't think it's someone that isn't going to frustrate people at times, but I did see little glimpses from Broja that he could be a decent player for us, or he could be developed into a very good player for us if he gets the right coaching and the right kind of guidance. I think he's got good fundamentals, but he's just come off an ACL, so I'm a bit worried about him as well. What level he's at when he comes back. But
who? Sorry, Matisse.
Amando Broja.
Yeah.
So I could probably just about scramble together an 11, but it wouldn't be an 11 that's particularly balanced, and it's definitely 11 that has problems. But I could put together something. Yeah.
I was going to say, I think with the mixture of some of the young players that you've got in combination with some of the more experienced ones, I understand they're the ones who've been letting you down a bit. But even if Mendy, like you said, can just find a little bit of his old form, then that can build up to just... and then players like him, that can just build up the younger players to a little bit more confidence. Because that's all it was when I watched Chelsea last season. Obviously, a lack of cohesion, but more importantly, just the head was absolutely gone in loads of moments. And that's what leads to mistake after mistake after mistake. And I don't think Potter was the personality. He could have been the tactician. He weren't the personality to fix that group of players in the position that they were in. I just kind of saw it that way. How come they haven't announced Nkuku? Is this just because it's not the 1st of July?
I'm not really sure.
No, because we've got McAllister.
There's announcements today. I think João Pedro at Brighton's been announced. James Milner's been announced, I think. So there is announcements. The transfer window open today. Fabrizio said that it will be kind of announced officially after the France games. I don't know why, but it is done. So it's a bit strange. I expected it to be announced by now, but I'm not really sure why. But I'm not really worried about it, to be honest.
Matisse, you never just dropped a banger on good old James Milner going to Brighton. Oh, he's gone to Brighton, chat.
Yeah, that's happened. That's all
done. He's gone to Brighton. I knew he was going to Brighton. I didn't know it was confirmed. Look at him in his little shirt, Matisse. He's in his little shirt. Oh, it looks weird. It looks weird, Matisse. Oh, wait there, let me...
Do you know what, though? He's had a great career, man. At Aston Villa, he was quality as well. And
man like James Milner, Neymar. Yeah, Matisse, how are we ranking James Milner as one of the most underrated players of all time? Come on.
He goes into that category of, like, your Gareth Barrys and, just very good.
Gareth Barry was a bad motherfucker as well, lad. He was
he played
bad,
for City as
midfielder.
Well. Yeah, he was at Villa, played for City.
We wanted him. We wanted him as well. I think it was in 2009 when Xabi Alonso left, and we wanted to replace Xabi Alonso. Gareth Barry was the guy.
That was your period of buying every English player. Stuart Downing,
Charlie Adam. Yeah. Charlie Adam from Blackpool. We signed a couple of players from Blackpool.
He was actually quite a baller. Scottish. Nice little set piece taker there. But
do you know what? He was, but you saw that Jay Spearing was in our midfield that year as well. We ended up getting some terrible signings around that period. Matisse. It was just like every signing was bad.
Roy Hodgson
from when we sold Torres to you, that was when stuff really just
Andy Carroll. Ricky Lambert.
Andy Carroll was shite. I feel like the only one that we got right post Torres was Suarez. Because he was the same day as Thingy. He was the same day as they signed on the same day as each other when they joined. Shout out to Ransom Bance.
We got Rance in the building.
My guy. Jeez. You're onto the way that Rance was talking about Ten Hag like he was the next best thing. Matisse, you're onto this. And then he just ended up having just the season.
I'm seeing Mason Mount is a priority for Man United. So there's a lot of disagreements between Ten Heineken. I call him Ten Heineken. And Rance keeps telling me to call him Ten Heisenberg, but I keep calling him Ten Heineken because at times this season he's been on the drink. I rate him, but at times he's been on the drink. So, but he wants Mason Mount, so it's crazy.
Oh no, I'm a Rance fan. I appreciate that he's like the best heel in the game at the moment. Like that's what Rance brings. You know what I'm saying? Jeez, do you know the guy that he was slandering a year? This guy is shameless, shameless Matisse. I'm gonna be doing shows.
I was trying to stop that Mbappe slander as much as possible, but it was crazy.
Yeah,
but now, I think, do you know what? That World Cup final, no one can be against Mbappe after that. The mental fortitude was just on another level. He just showed that he's just not playing around.
Rance was talking about Mbappe like he was going to sit on the bench for his father's side team and that. What's with the Mbappe chat now, Ranceroni? Hey, I thought he was a little Rashford 2.0 with a few more skill moves. Nah, we'll discuss all that about Mbappes on when I return on Rance's channel, because that's going to be happening soon, chat. So definitely keep an eye out. Also, Rance is back on YouTube, which is cool to see.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
he is back home.
Back.
So go subscribe. Go subscribe. Best player ever created after the World Cup final. What are we saying, Matisse? What are we saying, Matisse?
I disagree with that, because Messi's my GOAT, you know what I'm saying? And I think Ronaldinho is his GOAT. But yeah, listen, he's unreal, man. He's unreal. The way he's moving in that World Cup final, it turned heads, you know what I'm saying? And to be fair, what he's doing right now is a masterstroke. He's got all the power again against PSG. This guy says, I'm not leaving this summer, but I'm leaving next summer for free.
Yep.
So I can get a bigger, signing on fee, and I can make more money wages wise. And obviously me and Real Madrid have already got that pack. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, Ten Hag having a just as good season as West Ham is what it is. Ten Hag said era's come to an end, then City win the treble.
Yeah, that was wild.
It was bad timing. It was bad timing for sure. I remember there was a live stream against Real Madrid, and we got battered by. Do you know in the full COVID season where we were playing behind closed doors the whole time, and we played Real Madrid in the Champions League knockouts. Trent was having an abominable, like an absolute terrible season consistently, really bad. Like remember that spell where we were losing at Anfield, and then Trent was making loads of mistakes.
Yeah.
So I was basically saying, like, guys, I just have a feeling, like, do you know next season, I think Trent's going to find a little way back, I think he's going to come back to his almighty best, and he'll only learn from these mistakes. I'll show you the clip, lad, literally a second later. I'm not saying 5-10 seconds, I'm saying one second later, Vinicius goes and fucking tackles him and then scores a goal, doesn't he?
You've had some mad reactions as well. Was there not a watch-along? I think I said
that was a watch along.
Yeah.
It was a watch along. It was a Real Madrid one.
That was it. I think that was it, because I remember seeing a clip of that on Instagram and losing my head.
Oh mate, man said Mbappe and Rashford on steroids. These were some wild times. Yeah. Ransom Bance is one of the greatest heels and reaction creators in the game. And all of the heel back and forth between me and him will be back soon for sure. Matisse, before we round this up, brother, because I have actually just realised I kept you way longer than I promised, so I do apologise. Expectations next season, will you finish at least above Liverpool? Come on, above Liverpool.
Woo, that's not looking like it. Not looking like. Do you know
what? Put your cojones where you can put them, Matisse. Come on, brother.
I would love to, bro, but you guys, after getting McAllister at that price, I'm starting to get a little bit worried that you're back to being, doing the business that you should do. The due diligence has been done. I don't know what the fee is, because it keeps going down. Every time I hear about the fee, people keep telling me it's lower and lower. I'm starting to think he's going to get to like 500k. You guys, all you need is a couple more midfielders, maybe one centre back, and
damn right, Matisse.
And that's it. So
you're damn right.
Nah,
that's all we need. A couple.
The highest I can put us at right now with this team, bro, is fifth. I can't lie, and that's just because coefficient points for your Champions League might be fifth, so you can get fifth spot and get Champions League. So I'm gonna just go with the bottom. The last possible position to get Champions League, which is what I need next season, and a cup. And yeah, so you guys will not be finishing outside the top 5. So yeah, I'm not gonna have chest. I can't lie. I'm not gonna. Maybe after the window's closed, maybe I can have a bit of chest. But right now, bro, nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Nah.
LJ Brown comes out with the last super chat of the day. Big up to LJ Brown after what has been a legendary stream. Guys, subscribe to Matisse before you forget. Is there any truth to the fixture leak? Because Luton away for you, Hammers, and Palace away for you, Matisse. Those are some peak away days, if true.
What, first game of the season?
Hey, I love the way that our wage slips are still going into the fixture makers. A little relegation team on the opening day of the season. Matisse, you know what I'm saying?
Would you really want Luton away first game though? Because that place ain't easy to go to.
let's get stuck in from get-go. Yeah, what's a more tougher place than playing in someone's back garden, Matisse?
Yeah,
you
that's
know
what I'm
the
saying.
score.
That's what I'm saying.
You know the score. That's
hitting someone's
ruthless
shed.
stuff.
You ever curl it around the hedges as a kid? The hedges used to be for me.
I never had the tech like that, you know, Matisse. I was one of those.
Now,
I was
awful now.
I was Henderson when I was like, imagine this, like you when you were younger, you were probably like Neymar at least. 'Cause when you're a kid, what was you like if you had to compare yourself to a player, roughly?
At best, a Florent Malouda.
Oh, I don't know who that is, Matisse. Is he good?
Yeah, no, Florent Malouda was good. I used to play off the left, but I was the only person like in the younger age groups that wouldn't mind using their left foot, even though I was right-footed. So Malouda at best, but yeah, bro. As soon as the eyesight started deteriorating, long day.
Do you know Malouda? And I'm onto the eyesight. Do you know Malouda? Did he start playing towards was he in the 2005, 2010 bit for use?
He was like, well, for his perfect season for us was 09-10 under Ancelotti.
Now I know Malouda. I remember Malouda.
Yeah. He banged in like 15 goals or something in the Prem. That was his best season for sure. But the whole team that season was smoke. But yeah, I'd say about 6, 7, maybe to 11, 12 was kind of Malouda's time. Round about then.
I was a Jordan Henderson, and that's even being generous, you know, Matisse. It was just one of those things where hard work reigns supreme type thing, just because the technical ability weren't there, and there was like barely a first touch, so you have to do the best. I weren't pacey that much. So, but I had a mean right foot on me though, like a John Arne Riise right foot. Like I can ping a ball, mate.
Laces.
Matisse. Yeah. Like we don't know where it's gonna go, but if it lands in the goal, it might just break. It's going, brother. It's going, brother. But yeah, shout out to everyone who tunes into the stream, man. Great stream, Matisse. I'd love to get you on more. Let me know when you want me to jump on your channel, and that will be a pleasure. Guys, subscribe to Matisse. When people donate their time to us, it'd be great to see that investment return with a couple of subscribers on their channel. Do smash a like before we go out as well, because it gets the stream more out there. And yeah, man, keep up to date with all the stuff that's going on in the footballing scene involving me and Matisse. And all that being said, we'll see you gorgeous, beautiful people in a bizzle. Sayonara.